Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a minimap within a minimap. In this map here, which is map underscore overlapping areas. So again, if you go to the demo folder and go to maps, it's this map here called map overlapping areas. So you can see that I have a larger zone around the outside, and then I have like a room in the middle of it. So what you can do is essentially have a minimap that defines the outside or the whole play space, and then you can have a another minimap that defines this indoor area, and the system will automatically transition between those two depending how you set it up. So first of all, there's two minimap assets here. The first one is the outside zone. So the outside zone is just a regular basic minimap with no custom areas. So if you look at here, there's no custom areas defined. So this is just the basic minimap that I showed you in the basic setup of this minimap system, right? So if I go into top down view, you can see that what I've done to set this up is that I have made a minimap which slightly there's a slight buffer between the minimap and the edge of the levels. Again, screenshotted this and then exported it to Inkscape, and then I drew this, right? So that matches up with the size of the minimap trigger. And if I run it, so I've set this minimap not to rotate. It's just easier to show this off. So again, it's a pretty basic, simple setup. So the outside area is not doing anything with the custom areas at all. It's just a very basic minimap setup. Now I'm just going to turn this off for a sec. And now the internal area is using the custom area setup that I showed in the previous video. So if I go to, so there is a second minimap, which is, where is that? So I've called it minimap interior, and you can see like the bounds of it. So this orange lines is the bounds of this area. So again, if I go to into top down view, I would have set it up to encapsulate this whole area. I would have taken a screenshot from this corner to this corner, again exported it to Inkscape, and then drew this, imported it back in, and attached it to the minimap. But for this particular one, because again this is a zone within a zone, I am using custom areas, and because it's an odd shape, it's not like a perfect triangle. It's like a square room with a circular area attached to it. I am using two custom areas. So there's two areas in the array, and I've essentially just sized them. Now these two areas can overlap. They can the system doesn't care if they overlap, so you can do whatever you need to do to make it fit your space. So this one is a box, and this one is a cylinder. And those two combined basically covers the entire space, right? And that's pretty much all you need to do. You just have to use the setup that I showed you before with the adjoining areas, and you can put one of those areas inside a larger area. The only thing that you have to just kind of set up and just keep track of is the sorting orders. So if you look at this minimap here, I'll turn this back on. So the sort order for this one is 0, and the sort order for this one is 1. The higher the sort order is, it means that if multiple triggers are overlapping, then it's going to consider the sort order that's higher, right? So technically, if I'm standing here, yes, I'm inside this blue zone, right? But I'm actually also inside this zone as well. So I'm actually inside both minimap triggers. So the system needs a way to know, okay, if I'm inside multiple triggers like this one and this one, which minimap is it that I'm supposed to use? And that's what that sort order allows the system to determine, right? So you could potentially have another minimap trigger. Let's say you have like a big city, and then you have like a like a mall or something, and then maybe inside the mall you have like a small shop, so you have like a minimap within a minimap within a minimap. That's perfectly fine. That will work. You just have to make sure that the sort order on the world is 0, the sort order on the mall is 1, and then the sort order on the small shop is 2. So in this case, you can see that the larger minimap, the sort order is 0, and then if you look at the sort order on minimap interior, the sort order is 1. So if I run this now, you can see that it's showing the outside world. If I run into this zone, it's going to go into this internal minimap. And then, I've got this NPC in here as well. And you can see that it's set up so that the area the trigger perfectly encapsulates this play space. So even if I go up to the walls, it's not going to sort of accidentally leave the trigger and go back into the world map. So if I exit here, it will go back into the world map. And then if I sort of run along the edges, it's not going to go back into the internal area, right? Because I've sort of perfectly matched up the triggers with the geometry of this internal area. So that's pretty much it for this video. There's not really too much to it. You set it up exactly the same way as you set up any custom area. You just have to make sure that you set up the sort order for your minimaps so that the system knows that if multiple minimaps overlap, which one it should be using. And it's always the sort order with the highest number that it will use before something else. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much.